Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another Top 10 with Tia by Geek Vibes Nation. How was everyone's Thanksgiving? While stuffing ourselves with turkey, enjoying the long weekend, and fighting each other online for the best Black Friday slash Cyber Monday deal, I'm sure we took a moment to watch some television. Personally, this holiday weekend, I was watching the Netflix show Made and checking out some Shameless again. I also got advanced screeners for the second season of Jack Reacher, so look out for that review in mid-December. We watch a lot of our television on streaming services now, and while this allows for a lot of options, it also means that there are a lot of TV shows that don't always succeed in terms of viewership. While it can be understandable that some TV shows get canceled, others either make no sense or make viewers upset. Even though a certain show didn't have a huge fan base, there were people who enjoyed said show and are upset to see it go. In this week's Top 10, we're going over the top 10 canceled shows that deserved another season. Huge disclaimer here. This top 10 is my opinion. I, Tia, tend to like shows that often get canceled and don't have huge fan bases. What this says for my taste in media, well, I don't know. But this is opinionated based on shows I generally enjoy watching. You probably won't see anything like Firefly, Hannibal, or other popular shows that are often mentioned in these lists. This is my list, and as always, I want to hear your list. Now, without further ado, let's do this. Number 10, Shadow and Bone. This is a recent one. Netflix is pretty notorious for canceling shows that have huge fan bases in favor of mindless bullshit. Nothing stands out more to me than shows like Glow getting axed. Meanwhile, The Kissing Booth spawned multiple sequels. Anyway, back to Shadow and Bone. The series was based on a series of books by Leigh Bardugo and even was meant to spawn a spin-off. Instead, it was canceled after 2 seasons and that spin-off was cut. Ben Barnes was in it, which is always a treat, and it was a great fun for anyone who is into high fantasy. Why was it canceled? Netflix just loves doing this, and it's easy to see why people feel discouraged from investing in series, as it seems that Netflix just cancels shows out of nowhere. Number 9, Dollhouse. This is probably a show that not many people know of, but I like to say that it was Westworld before HBO's Westworld. It had 2 seasons and starred Eliza Dushku. Essentially, and this is a very loose explanation of the show, it was about a group of people who agreed to have their consciousness, memory, and personality shelved so that their bodies could be used whenever they're rented out, whether this is for pleasure, a bank robbery, or anything else in between. It was an underground operation called the Dollhouse, and we find out more information as the show goes. People who you don't realize are dolls are dolls. There's law enforcement trying to discover this underground operation. It was entertaining and had some really surprising twists. It was canceled after 2 seasons, and I would have liked to see it continue on. Number 8, Hellstrom. This Marvel show was the last of the Jeff Loeb Marvel show era. We essentially knew that this show was a dead man walking. It released on Hulu, had essentially no Marvel watermark on it, and was quickly canceled from having a second season. At this point, Jeff Loeb was out of the picture. Kevin Feige had acquired the rights to the Netflix Marvel characters, and if Hellstrom hadn't already been filmed, edited, and finished, I doubt it would have even aired. Regardless, I enjoyed Hellstrom. It was a darker Marvel project. Tom Austin played the titular character, and I think with some TLC, it could have been better. It had potential. Maybe we'll see these characters again, but unlike the actors who played the Defenders, no one is really championing Hellstrom. Well, I am. Number 7, Cursed. Cursed was a Netflix show that came out around the same time of the 2020 lockdown, and I feel that it didn't get nearly enough love. It came out also around the time of The Witcher, and because The Witcher is a bigger IP and has Henry Cavill, I feel The Witcher overshadowed Cursed. Cursed is a fun young adult show based on the novel of the same name, with great visuals, a nice twist on a familiar story, and just had great potential all around. The first season ended with Gustav Skarsgård as Merlin, essentially having his Thor Ragnarok moment, and then it never got renewed. I was so disappointed, and I just feel that Curse needed more attention than it got. Number 6, Veronica Mars. Veronica Mars has had an interesting history. After 3 seasons in the early 2000s, it was canceled, came back in a 2014 fan funded movie, and then for a fourth season on Hulu in 2019. Now, Veronica Mars wasn't exactly canceled as it just wasn't renewed. This is due to the fact that tonally, the fourth season missed the mark. Season 4 disappointed fans and, spoiler, killed off a fan favorite. So when I say that Veronica Mars didn't deserve to be canceled, I'm mostly talking about the original 3 seasons. I think I speak for most Veronica Mars fans when I say if they came back and somehow Logan survived, we'd forgive it. Number 5, Brave New World. Probably another show that others haven't heard of. Brave New World is based off the 1930s novel by Aldous Huxley and was essentially one of the first original series on Peacock in 2020. I believe that the show was canceled after 1 season because Peacock was a new streaming service at the time and needed actual time for people to sign up and watch the show. Was it a perfect show? No. But it starred Harry Lloyd, who I absolutely love. I am a Viserys Targaryen apologist. Anyway, it's an interesting dystopian show that tackled a lot of relevant topics and could have been a favorable sci-fi show if it was just given room to breathe. Seriously, it starred on Peacock, and I felt within months it was canceled. People weren't even signing up for Peacock at the time. Ugh. Number 4, iZombie. So again, iZombie wasn't technically canceled. It was renewed for a 5th season, but it was quickly revealed that that 5th season was going to be the last season. You can tell that the series creator, who is the same guy behind Veronica Mars, probably wanted another 2 seasons. Season 5 had a lot of ground to cover to end things within 13 episodes. It needed another season because season 5 was incredibly fast-paced and there were many things that need to be more fleshed out. Ultimately, it was a satisfying conclusion for fans, but I think iZombie didn't get enough love in comparison to Netflix's Santa Clarita Diet, which I believe got more attention because it had Drew Barrymore and Timothy Olyphant in it. Here's my hot take: just because it has bigger names doesn't mean it's better. Number 3, Mindhunter. Ugh. I loved Mindhunter, a compelling show based around the creation of the Behavioral Analysis Unit in the FBI. It was a fantastic show from David Fincher, and it's just amazing in regards to story, writing, dialogue, and characters. Not to mention that they got actors who brilliantly depicted the likeness of real-life serial killers in both physicality and dialogue. It was such a good show that deserved a 3rd season. Number 2. Every Defenders verse show. Let's cover all of these. Now, when Iron Fist was canceled, I don't think people were surprised. Iron Fist, despite doing better in season 2, was not received well. People didn't mind that it was axed, but then Luke Cage got canceled, and we were all shocked. Luke Cage's first season literally crashed Netflix. How is it being canceled? Then Daredevil was canceled after a phenomenal 3rd season, and then people pretty much realized that all of our Defenders shows were getting cut. This was primarily due to Disney acquiring Fox and the contracts for Netflix ending. Jessica Jones and The Punisher were then canceled, and that was it. I know we got Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk back with the original actors in recent Marvel projects, but who knows if we're getting John Bernthal, Kristen Ritter, and Mike Coulter back. Even if we do, nothing will beat the Netflix era of Marvel. Side note, say what you will about Jeff Loeb, besides Inhumans, that era of Marvel TV was great. Number 1, American Gods. If you know me, you shouldn't be surprised. I ride hard for American Gods. I will never let it go that this Starz show was canceled when it only needed 1 more season. Based on Neil Gaiman's novel of the same name, let me say, I know every season had a different showrunner. I know the show made a lot of changes from the books. Everything you have to say about American Gods, I know. I don't care. I loved this show. I loved Ricky Whittle as Shadow. I loved Bruce Langley as Technical Boy, Yetidi, but Badaki as Bilquis, Ian McShane as Mr. Wednesday, Kristen Glover as Mr. World, and so on and so on. After 3 seasons, with season 3 being the rockiest after Orlando Jones was let go, I had a feeling we weren't getting more. But even after it was canceled, Fremantle said that we were going to get something to wrap everything up. A TV movie, a mini series, something. Hell, at this point, I'll take an audio podcast with the original cast acting out the ending. You know, kind of like what they did with Orphan Black. But Tia, it's based on a book, so just read the book to know how it ends. Yes, true. I've read the book. I know how it ends. However, the show came up with different concepts that were never explored in the book. Like, for example, finding out Technical Boy is actually the oldest god of them all, and Mr. World knew this whole time. The show ended before the Mr. World reveal, which I will not reveal because in case you want to read the book and find that all out. In the show, Laura is no longer a zombie. There are many, many things that cannot be explained in the book. At this point, I just want something. With shows like Sandman and Good Omens being popular, it's clear that people love Neil Gaiman's work. Just give me something. I can go on an entire rant for this, and you can certainly see on Geek Vibes Nation a whole American Gods playlist where me and Brittany talked about the 3 seasons and just kind of surmising everything, talking about what our favorite episodes were and all that. So please go make sure you check that out because American Gods is a show that doesn't get enough love. I interviewed a bunch of the actors from the show, including Bruce Langley and Yetide, and it was amazing. And yes, I even interviewed Orlando Jones after the whole thing, after he was let go. And of course, I disagree with that because Orlando Jones as Mr. Nancy was an amazing character in American Gods, and that is certainly not excusable at all. I'm just saying, for those who loved American Gods, we would have taken anything. I think even the actors themselves were pretty surprised just because they thought, hey, there's only a little bit left of the story to tell. Shouldn't we just tell it? If you read the book and you watch the show, you know that essentially they could finish everything up within 2 hours. And the fact that they didn't makes me a little upset, honestly, guys. Also, I'm going to put it out there right now that I've interviewed Omid Abtahi, who plays Salim, but I actually ran into him at New York Comic Con. And he also would really love for maybe one of the streaming services to pick it up. Just something, guys. Anyway, let me not make this entire top 10 about American Gods because I truly can say a lot about it. But yes, that's my top 10. As I said before, this is my opinion. I know that others will have a difference of opinion of what kind of show they wouldn't have wanted canceled. And maybe they sit there and go, oh, well, Tia, a lot of the shows that you mentioned didn't have a huge viewer base, so of course they got canceled. And that's true, but let's keep in mind shows like Winona Earp, which successfully ran for 4 seasons on the Sci-Fi Channel, also didn't have a huge viewer base, but I believe that the people behind the show knew that just because it wasn't a huge viewer base, that still they had loyal viewers and they need to do right by them. So I'm just saying it can happen, but please let me know what you see as a canceled show that should not have been canceled, or any of the shows that I mentioned in this list on your list as well. And on top of that, please make sure that you check out all that Geek Vibes Nation has to offer. I just spoke with Chad Michael Collins, who plays Alex Keller in Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 3. And that was a lot of fun. What a nice guy. So please make sure you check out that. And then also my other top 10s, where there's a playlist on GVN's YouTube channel, top 10. And yeah, sorry, I just got distracted by the fact that there are sirens outside. The perks of living in New York, guys. Anyway, please make sure that you give this a thumbs up or a like or whatever the kids are calling it these days. If you're not subscribed already, please make sure that you're doing so. We have a lot of amazing videos, from reviews to podcasts to interviews. We like to explore everything in the geeky world here at Geek Vibes Nation. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. This is Tia. This is Geek Vibes Nation, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.